is up, guys? It is the Redstone Scientist here. That was weird. Redstone Scientist here with another episode of TRS's World. This is actually the second time I'm recording this episode. The first time... Oh, wow. The first time... Hold on a minute. The first time I recorded it, it was kind of a chatty episode, and I talked about the incident with my finger that I was talking about on Twitter yesterday, the day before. But I decided it was a little bit too graphic, so I scratched that episode, and I wanted to do something more Redstone-y. So you're in for a Redstone-y episode today, if all goes according to plan. Whoa, you see that effect that's happening with the bedrock? I think that's something to do with Myth Map, or whatever it's called. Anyway, there's a confession I have to make before we get to this episode, which is I have been breaking bedrock in creative mode. And I know that's cheating, and yes, it's cheating, but I think for the purposes of YouTube, the purposes of getting done what I need to get done, it just, you know, there's no other way to break bedrock anymore. So that is how I'm going to have to do it. Because that's such a great unintended feature, breaking bedrock, but that's going to be the end of that discussion. So clearly I built this farm designed by Snocrash himself, the one and only Snocrash, great YouTuber. You guys should definitely check him out if you don't know who he is. But I have not built the center portion. Well, first let me talk about this a little bit. It's a gold farm, and it is made in these donut rings. And so basically this provides the optimal spawning spaces around you to spawn as many pigmen as possible. And basically what happens is you trap one of the pigmen so that he doesn't despawn, name him with a name tag, and you throw a snowball at him or something, and all of the pigmen get mad at you and come through here, and they think this trapdoor is a full block, so they fall down. They normally fall to their death, and then they still drop XP because all angry pigmen will drop XP. There's then because you can't place water in the nether for like an XP elevator, you use slime blocks to have the XP bounce all the way up to you while you stand here and AFK. And then because you've got the non-despawning pigmen, more and more and more pigmen spawn. And it is incredibly efficient. But the reason why I have not built the XP elevator portion is because, at least when it was on the Hermitcraft server, it caused nothing but problems. Because there were something about chunk updates and slime blocks disappearing. It was really weird. But I'm getting some bad frames up here. Let's just leave it. Let's just deal with it. Whatever it may be. Oh man, 24 frames per second. That's really bad. Hopefully I'm gonna get better frames on my new computer. But basically what we're gonna be doing instead is a crushing chamber. Now, then I thought, wait a minute, do crushing chambers work? Because we want to make sure that we still get the XP. Except that it's really more about the gold for me, not the XP. So let's do a little bit of a demonstration here. Is everything looking good? Yeah. Okay, so let's do a little bit of a demonstration. So I hit one of the pigmen. There's massive lag because they're all calculating stuff. And then they all get mad at me, and they all start massing toward this one area. Wow, it's really bad. The recording is really taking a much heavier toll on my computer than it normally does. Everything's going in like slow-mo. Well, anyway, as you can see, all the pigmen are coming over here in super slow motion, and eventually we're gonna get them all because normally these fall out of the range of the players so that they don't affect the mob cap. But because they're right here, they still are affecting it. So all of the pigmen are falling and falling and falling and falling. Let's just wait a little bit longer. And then I have this little setup here to crush them. Let's just see what we have in... Oh, that's not gonna work. Let's get rid of a couple of these swords. Great. Man, the frames are really bad. I'm sorry about this, guys. Pull this lever. They're all gonna die. And the way I have it set up, all of the drops are gonna like spew out everywhere. But some of them... What the heck? How did you get here? What? What the heck? How did he get out of there? It makes no sense whatsoever. There we go. Anyway, we get a whole bunch of XP, and we get all the drops. Which seem... Are they still coming in? Yeah, they're still coming in. But anyway, as you can see, they're all still trying to track me. There's some massive lag going on up here. But anyway, this is not what we want. We still want it to be a crusher, because I want to be able to not have to deal with an XP elevator. But also, it's not as efficient, because I don't think every single one of them ends up actually dropping XP. Because of the way they're being killed, I don't know. But basically, what we want to have happen... You know, I suppose what we could do is we could make it a TNT activated thing. Should we do that? Actually, yeah. I'm thinking we should probably do that. But then the problem is that it's not AFKable. We can add an option for TNT. How about that? But for now, what we want to do is we want to basically make a chamber that will make sure not too many stack up, but just enough stack up so that we continue to get pigmen spawning. We don't want to hit the mob cap. So it's going to be kind of difficult to figure this out in such a small area, because we want to make sure that the XP doesn't have far to travel, because I want to avoid having to deal with an XP elevator design. Let's close this up. Let's crush these guys. I am going to figure out the first couple of steps we need to take, and I will be back with you in a moment. Okay, guys, I'm back, and I basically just have a really simple setup here. It's basically what was happening before. I got rid of the trap door, because they basically just end up pushing each other off anyway, so they don't really need to be tricked into thinking there's a block there, because their AI will still pathfind them over to here. So basically, that's our buffer. Then, when we have enough pigmen down here, we'll put a... we can't put a pressure plate on it because of... So we're gonna have to actually push them somewhere else in order to get that to happen, aren't we? We could get rid of the half slab, but then we won't have a hopper underneath there. We could get a hopper minecart going under there, I suppose, so it could pick it up from underneath a block. That could work. If you power the block, will the hopper minecart get unpowered? Okay, let's get in there. Let's replace this half slab. Oh, well, the hopper's gone. We're gonna replace this with a full block. Then underneath that full block is where we'll have the hopper minecart. Or we could even put it right here and then have the hopper minecart under that, because this will still crush them. Okay, yeah. So, actually, in that case then, do we even need a buffer? Because if the pigmen are falling, right, and then we activate this, they're just going to stand on top of this and not go anywhere until we unlock it. So yeah, I don't even think we need this other piston to be a buffer. So let's get rid of that, and let's place the glass back in there. I don't have enough glass to do that. Do I? Well, anyway. Maybe we could just work with this. I think that may be what we're going to do. So let's place back our glass right here with a slab on top so we can see in without letting anything get out here, because that's what was actually happening with the babies before. They were getting out. So, and the reason why this is raised up right here is because this is, in Snocrash's farm, the optimal place to AFK so that you get as many spawning spaces active as possible. Now, I'm not sure if this half slab makes a difference, but we're going to try it anyway. So, let's see. What is the next step? We need to do the timing circuits, I believe, because the rest of it should all be set, right? Because they fall down there, they do that, let's get rid of this. The chest is not going to be there, so we're going to remove that anyway. So let's just remove the chest. Like so. And I'm sure there were a lot of important things in there, so that was stupid. Anyway, I think the next thing to do, we have enough iron to make the minecart, so let's do that first. Here's our minecart, and we put a hopper in it. And then we can put a hopper beneath that. So let's get out of here and very gently... Oh, shoot, there were a lot of important things in there. I had like 50 repeaters and stuff in there. Let's break all that, and let's just drop down and grab that. Okay, we are back, and let's figure out how we're going to do this. We'll take some cobblestone so we can pillar down. Where is it coming? That's where the chest is. This is where the hopper minecart needs to go, and we don't have a rail. Perfect. Okay, let's head up there, see if we can craft one real quick. We're going to need sticks. Do we need any more sticks than that? I can never remember. I don't think so. Is it like this? Or no, that's powered rails. Oh no, it works. Okay, there are rails. Let's get rid of gold, because there's going to be plenty more where that came from. And grab the rail. Place it down right there. Place the hopper minecart. Is there any chance we can get rid of that? Let's just leave it for now. Let's be safe and leave it. I don't think anything is going to be disrupting that, so... but we needed it to be on a... okay, that was stupid. It actually needs to be on a hopper, which is why my mistake was so terrible. So let's grab the hopper, place it there, then on top of that is where our rail is going to go, with a hopper minecart. Okay. Let's place that down. Oh! I was just about to say nothing is going to disrupt that. Okay. So, and then that'll feed into our sorting system. So, let's see here. We can cover this up, because there's not going to be anything there. And now, that's where we need to put our weighted pressure plate. Now, what is the difference between a light-weighted pressure plate and a heavy-weighted pressure plate? Let's make one right... Isn't that how you make it? Or is it two? It's two. Okay. Let's experiment with the difference between these two. Okay, clearly, it takes quite a bit of items, so I think we're going to go with... Oh, great. We're going to go with the heavy-weighted pressure plate, because we're going to be getting a lot of pigment at a time. So let's get rid of that. Let's craft another one of these. And put that in our inventory like so. Okay. So, on this block right here is where we're going to need to place the pressure plate. Let's let this guy out. Roam free, my son. Roam free. Come on. Come on, buddy. Alright, well, let's just put that there. This slab can go back there, because that's not going to cause any problems. And... we could just break this, place that there, and then put a slab on top of it. But I can't find any slabs right now, so we'll place one of these there for now. Actually, yeah, that should be fine. That should be fine. Okay, so we got our rails back. Let's figure out what we have to do next. We've got that, we've got the pressure plate. We need to figure out how many pigmen we want on there. So, tell you what, let's put this... I'll be right back. I'm going to do some testing. Alright guys, I am back. Sorry I was doing a lot of on-camera building there, but I don't really have time to do anything else. So, I have done a little bit of work here. Basically, the zombie pigmen will... I'm showing you this before I slab it all up, so I got rid of the minecart just because it was causing problems. I'll put it back later. But under this, on top of this, there is a weighted pressure plate. And then there's a comparator coming out of it that goes into this block here. And this block here gets the redstone output right here. And because it's only one dot, it doesn't lose any of the power. And it goes into this comparator. And so basically this comparator is going to have the same amount of power that that comparator did. Then we have a hopper here that is giving off a comparator signal strength of 4, I believe. And that is going into this comparator, which is on normal mode. So basically, when a comparator is on normal mode, if the B signal strength, this is B and this is A. So if the comparator will only output if the A signal is stronger than the B signal. So if it outputs, so that means it's about 35 or so pigmen. Because remember, we don't want it to be too much, because otherwise we won't get more spawns, if that makes any sense. We want it to be a constant thing. We don't want it to be a every once in a while thing. So it outputs here. This repeater goes into this block, which outputs a line there. Now, that line is going to go into a hopper timer. And the reason we have a hopper timer is so that then, once we know we have enough pigmen in here, then we can we can start to crush them. Also, I'm a little bit farther away from my mic, so sorry about the volume change. So we now need to figure out we're going to set up a input here, or, yeah, I guess if we power this block with a torch right there, that will power them both, and that will activate the crusher. So I guess we're going to put a torch here, and then that's going to activate this. And then we're going to hook a hopper timer up to it, and we're going to figure out how long it needs to be active for in order to crush all the pigmen. And then the rest of the farm sort of should just fall into place because of that. So I'm going to go and see what I can do about that, and I will be right back with you. Alright guys, I am back, and I've basically done exactly what I said I was going to do. The timings are still a little bit off, as you can see. There's still some unaggroed zombie pigmen, but that may also just be because I don't have a resident zombie pigman, if you will. So I will do that off camera. And also, the redstone went a little bit outside of this circle, as you can see, so they can fall. And I think it would look even better, and it would also be more functional if I put some black glass blocking off everything. It will, actually, yeah, I'll do it just outside this, so I won't affect any spawn rates. Now, obviously, this is not as efficient as just dropping them down for fall damage. This doesn't have to be at peak efficiency. I'm not sharing this with a whole server, it's just me. And, so it doesn't have to be at peak efficiency. There's some problems like the babies get stuck here, and they won't despawn because they're holding things, which is kind of bad. But because the thing is, I originally had a piston here, and I realized that that was destroying the pressure plate, so I couldn't do that. I guess another thing I could do is I could have this block here temporarily open up, and that will cause all the babies to walk off and drop to their death. But I will figure all that out off camera. We did a lot of on-camera building today. Let me know what you thought of that. Yeah, so I'm pretty sure that's it. Oh, let me show you the redstone, of course. So it's all slabbed up, so it's kind of hard to see, but I figured out that this redstone was powering this minecart, which was preventing the items from going through, so I just placed a slab there and it's all fixed. I also added, if you remember over here, there's that piston there is a pulse shortener, or a monostable circuit, which is just providing a short update to this sticky piston, which will reactivate this pulse extender, which was either Etho or Codecrafted invented that, I don't remember. But then that goes into this convoluted little thing here, which just brings it around this torch and puts it up there. The only reason why it's so convoluted is because it was a little bit too close to this torch. So that's basically it. I'm actually going to block this off with a piece of sandstone, just so we make sure it doesn't get disrupted. Let's push it in a little bit more. Will that... There we go. So yeah, and it is working. Now, like I said, it is not peak efficiency. There are still some problems and kinks that need to be worked out, but I think that is going to be it for today, guys. So if you enjoyed the video, thank you very much. Well, thank you very much for watching. Anyway, if you enjoyed the video, please leave a like, a comment, or better yet, hit that subscribe button. Make sure to check out the jam-packed description for more science. I'll see you next time. And of course, thank you for watching. Thank you so much. Alright, guys, catch you later. Bye-bye.